Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's me, Cyber the Chud here, and I've been seeing Sam Shimon within my feed recently, and as you all know, I'm a Sunni Muslim. I'm a convert, so sorry for the other people within the Middle East, etc. If I mispronounce things, but even then, I still appreciate all my brothers, this and that. But Sam Shimon, I've been seeing his argument against Allah and his attributes, right? So basically, he's saying because there needs to be space for Allah to contain his attributes in, and that just somehow proves he's finite. So I'm here to debunk that said argumentation. There's verses within the Quran which literally contradict his inference too. So I'm gonna be bringing that up, and then I can get a conclusion which can debunk that. So without further ado, I'm gonna cite where this argumentation came from, so we know which one we're targeting to, and we can go to that one. So this was his debate against Daniel, another Muslim who was debating him, right? See, he made a conclusion based upon the fact that Allah has attributes and somehow needs space to exist, and his arms, etc., need space to contain. Therefore, that would imply time is also near. But here's the thing: that's presupposing nomology is going to be the case for Allah. And there's verses which also go against the idea and create a dichotomy for nomology existing for Allah and His attributes. Right? So we go to the Quran 42:11. He is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He is made for you from yourselves. Mate, and among the cattle, mate, he multiplies you thereby. There is nothing like unto him, and he is the hearing, the seeing. Right? So basically, this verse is implying there is nothing like him. And there's another verse which goes in conjunction with this. Surat Taha 25. Okay, so verify your Lord is Allah, who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days and then established him above the throne, arranging the matter. So if he created the heavens and the earth, right, this would basically mean he has created a form of universal principles, basically like the laws of physics, etc., which adhere to the universe and the heavens, etc., earth as well, since the earth itself abides by nomology, laws of physics, etc., right? And we know that there is nothing like Allah. So if this state is going in conjunction with the other verse we have here, which is 25, chapter 5, I believe. Sorry for mispronouncing that, but so once we get this inference, 42:11 being a form of substance and 25 also being a substance for that, we can infer that there's an ontological distinction between nomology, which is as a composite for the universe, etc., and also Earth being that as well. And then we also have where it also suggests that Allah created that. We can just derive an inference from this, saying that Allah is ontologically distinct. But what's ontologically distinct? Ontologically distinct is basically where there's a distinction between being. Ontology itself is the study of existence and being and its nature. And there's also other verses which also go into conjunction with this, which proves Allah's transcendent attributes. So let's go into that. Okay, so Surah Allah 871. He is the most high, the most great. And there's also Surah Al-Baqarah 2:55. The most merciful is established upon the throne. What is the throne? The throne can also be interpreted, there's like a top sphere for this. Basically, what is the top sphere is basically recognizing Allah's supreme power and transcendent attributes with this, right? So his attributes is above this. He's above creation itself. And one of Sam's arguments, which was for attributes existing within a space, right? We already established Allah is distinct from nomology in the earth itself. So he cannot be existent within the same set if he's ontologically distinct from creation, as there's nothing like him. Ontology is something not ontology, the nomology is something he created, right? And there's nothing like him, which is within the same verse. So if there's nothing like Allah, We cannot apply nomology, which is going into conjunction as a composite of the universe. The universe cannot be like Allah, or otherwise this would be a contradiction. Contradictions cannot exist by definition under that analytical form, right? So now, since we have that distinction we already established, this would just mean that we can't apply a nomological principle to Allah. This means Sam's argumentation of him needing our Allah's attributes needed a set space and time is going to be false and contradictory via his own substance, which is when he was appealing to the Quran and its verses. So his inference is contradicted by other external parts and verses of the Quran. And he also says he needs a form of space and time for that. But there's already another verse for that. Surah 255. Allah, there is no God, but He is living, the self-subsisting. If He is self-subsisting, that would also just refer that His attributes have no cause, and that's just Allah. He exists as Allah. There's no cause for His essence. If He is self-subsisting, He is self-dependent, and that implies a major real distinction between being and other things like He created, such as the earth and etc., right? So if this verse is implying He's self-subsisting, He's basically independent from that. He's an independent variable from these other variables, which is considered within creation. And we already know He's not like creation due to the external verses we already provided, which is 42:11. And now that we have 255, Allah, there is no God, but He's the living, the self-subsisting. Allahu Akbar, by the way. So if He is self-subsisting, right? This would basically mean He's independent. He doesn't have a cause. If, say for example, space is necessary for Him to hold an existence, right? Or for His attributes to exist and create a finite existing. But if He's independent, He doesn't need space to exist. That's already a contradiction coming from Sam's inference, right? Which he is saying there needs to be space for Allah's attributes to existing. But if Allah is self-dependent from these also verses within the Quran, this means that would contradict his only inference he has, therefore making his conclusion not add up with his previous assertions as well. That just makes it a non sequitur, and that's pretty much it, all I have to say. I hope you all have a very good day. Assalamu alaikum. I love you, brothers and sisters.